Hey guys, Zach here, coming at you with another video. So today we're going to be talking about Luigi's Mansion 3 screenshots. Now if you guys remember, a few months ago, I did a video where I showcased some Luigi's Mansion screenshots that I took from the initial reveal trailer, and I altered them to make them darker and overall look better. One of the main problems I have with this game, as you guys are very well aware, is that I think that this game is way too bright. So I'm going to show you guys today what I think the game should look like in terms of its brightness levels.
ZakPak, he's always there for you. ZakPak, only on YouTube. ZakPak, what will he do next? ZakPak, let's find out, 'cause it's on with the show.
So the first image we have here is of Luigi in the kind of cave pirate restaurant thing. I kind of like the design of this area, but obviously I just think it's way too bright to be like a haunted cave. I kind of think dark and gloomy and all that stuff. So let's quickly turn off the lights here. So as you guys can see, it just adds a lot more atmosphere to the area. You can see, like, in the skull in the background, the eyes are glowing a lot more. You can't see the ceiling, so it's a bit unknown up there. The fires are like, they stand out more. Each individual candle that's lit, Luigi's flashlight does make a difference here. So it really is amazing what just lowering the lights can do to scenes like this that look good, but I think that the overabundance of light just genuinely ruins the atmosphere and the feel that this section has. So let's move on to the next image. So this image here, we have Luigi on that ship with that shark kind of looking portrait goes. I can't tell exactly what it is that he's holding, but nevertheless, it's just kind of bright, it's a bit too much. I do think that the scene looks good, like the water in the background and all that, but overall, I think that the scene is pretty bright, and let's turn off the lights. So as you can see here, you can tell, you can see the glow better on the ghost. It stands out more with the lights lowered down. And I think you can tell that actually he has a golden tooth. One of the shark's teeth is golden. That's something you can't really tell in the before shot. So details like that makes shots like this a lot better. And, obviously something I also kind of did, I don't know how you can tell, but I also tried to emphasize the shadows a lot, because I think shadows are really important when it comes to lighting. So yeah, I think I made that look 10 times better by, like I said, just really lowering the brightness. And, there are ways to make it look even better by making the game naturally darker, because there is a difference between lowering the brightness and making the game naturally darker. But nevertheless, I still think this is good enough. Alright, so this next scene here is of Luigi in front of the pyramid in Tomb Suites. You see, it looks okay. It's dark, but for some reason, for it being nighttime and dark, it still kind of feels bright. Like there's still a lot of light, emitting from everything, and I think it's still just a little bit too bright. So let's turn off the lights and see what it looks like. So as you can see, guys, the flashlight makes a lot more of a difference on the ground. The fire makes a lot more difference. If you look at the statues in the background, you can actually see the detail a lot better than you did before, and the glow just looks a lot better on those statues. So overall, I think that the shot that I did a little bit of editing to looks way miles better than the before shot. Alright, so this one here is actually not too much difference. I'm going to kind of go through this one a little bit quickly, but nevertheless, this is the shot with Luigi looking at the mummy. He's, the room is honestly not horrible here. I think it's not too, it's not too bright, so it definitely does kind of have that darkness, but it's definitely not quite dark enough. So here we are here. I think I made it just darker enough to make it look a little bit better. Like I said, the other shot really didn't need that much. It was okay. But I definitely think that it does capture the dark tone that the game should have just a little bit better. But like I said, that first screenshot wasn't horrible. I just think that it needs to be just the taddest bit darker. This scene, on the other hand, I think is still way too bright. You see the boulder, or the boulder, if you must, chasing Luigi in this shot. And again, the room is just really, really bright. And yeah, so let's just turn off the lights here. So there you guys have it. This is the dark version of this room. Now, this is what I'm talking about here. You see that statue in the background? The glow from its eyes is a lot more ominous here. Just little details are so much better when the brightness is lowered. That it makes, like I said before, it's not just about the game being dark for the sake of being dark. it's being dark so that it adds a mood, so that there's something like, so that there's an actual atmosphere to the game, rather than just Luigi climbing up these generic floors with these generic themes of desert, plant, whatever. Having the dark elements to them and making it kind of spooky kind of adds that element of uniqueness, rather than the traditional Mario fare where it's just desert level, plant level, Adding the darkness and this ambience and atmosphere really does add to the room itself. So I know I kind of rambled on a little bit about this one, but yeah, to me this is just one of the ones that really shows what that little bit of lighting can do. Okay, so here's one of probably the more controversial ones that you guys will probably be like, why do you want this one changed? So obviously this one's on the disco floor with the portrait ghost in the background, whatever, with those dancing things. I have no clue what those even are on the side there. So let's turn off the lights. So as you can see here, it's a lot darker. It looks a lot better. Now for those of you like, but wait, everything's kind of discolored. That's kind of the point. I mean, you look at the first picture again. Let's go back to the first picture, right? Luigi doesn't look like he's affected at all, like in terms of like himself. Like he doesn't look like he's really affected by the lights that are under him. If he was really in a dark room with these neon lights under him, his clothing, his skin, everything would have that kind of reflection of the lights under him. So then you look at this picture, and you could definitely see more of that. You see more of the green light hitting Luigi from the green panels around him. There's definitely more of that in the background. All the neon lights, that are on the speakers, that are in the background behind the DJ. That stuff's more obvious. It just looks, in my opinion, miles better. Now, you guys can have your opinions on which one looks better, but I just think the darkness looks better. You can even see the details in each individual square a lot better with the darkness, with the light lowered. So, yeah, definitely one of the best ones. Now, I know the picture is a little bit lower quality, like it doesn't look as good as the one on the left, but that's because, like I said, just lowering the brightness does kind of alter a few things, so it could be a bit hard to capture that exact same crispness in the graphics. But also the first screenshot already was kind of dark, or kind of not the best quality anyways. Alright, so here we are, right outside the elevator to this floor. This is obviously floor 14, but I'm going to do a whole other video talking about the new information we've learned recently about Luigi's Mansion 3 and, analyzing it and all that. But here, we see the floor Luigi's on. Now, it just doesn't seem like, I don't know, like, it's just, to me, I think adding darkness, like having it be like a nightclub, right? Just, it doesn't seem like exactly nighttime. I mean, it kind of does, but it seems more like sunset, like the sun setting, and you can see the sun glowing on the bricks and all that. So let's switch over to the next view here, where obviously it looks a lot darker. The bricks are a lot more like in shadow, like there's a lot more shadow to it. The neon lights on the wall, in my opinion, stand out more. And the other picture, they kind of look fuzzed into each other. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but here they stand out a lot more, and they're a lot more neat, like with all the lines and everything. Everything just looks crisper. So that's what I have to say about it. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a few shots from E3, because obviously all those were from the recent Nintendo Direct trailer. These ones are going to be from the E3 Direct and the E3 trailer we saw. So here's Luigi entering the castle area where King McFred awaits. And like I said, like this area looks really cool, but I just think it would look a lot better if the lights were turned off. Speaking of which, let's do that. So obviously here, it just looks so much better. Luigi's flashlight's making a lot more of a difference, which again is one of those things that I really like, is that the flashlight actually has a purpose, in rooms with no ghosts in them, when it being dark and all that. I don't know, I just think this looks a lot better than this. Like, I don't know, like especially on the right, you can tell like the fabric doesn't look amazing, the popcorn kind of looks muddled, but when you have the darkness set, it kind of like takes that away-ish. I mean, it's still not the best looking, but it looks a lot better. The windows up top, stand out a lot more. So I just genuinely think just having this be darker, just in my opinion, just looks miles better. Now, I actually do want to say that I think this is a mild improvement over the first trailer we saw of Luigi's Mansion 3, where Luigi was walking through that hallway. This is miles better looking than that, but I still think it could be a little bit darker. It's just, just how clear everything is, and, I get it, there's moonlight shining in, but even with moonlight shining in, it wouldn't be that bright. So here's this picture. Now you can see the moonlight still shining in because you can see the shadows on the wall. You know, you can still see the shadows on the wall, so the moonlight's still shining in. You know, you can still see a lot of the things, but it's still dark. It's still nighttime. Even with the moonlight, it's not going to illuminate a whole room, you know? So you have the candles that stand out a lot. I don't know, I just think this darker tone in this room, and it hides the not so great texturing in the carpet a bit more. It actually kind of makes it look decent-ish. So yeah, I just think this could benefit from looking a lot darker. And the last screenshot is actually one that we haven't actually seen gameplay footage of. Like, we didn't see, like, Luigi walking around in this area. This wasn't in the trailer. This was just a screenshot that they uploaded to their website. So, this is obviously the downstairs basement area of the hotel. And honestly, I will admit, the quality of this picture isn't great. So, when I edited it, it didn't turn out amazing quality-wise. But you guys are just going to get my point once I turn it over. So here, right, so that one light above Luigi is illuminating the area that Luigi's in, but it doesn't illuminate the whole room. That's kind of how lights work. You know, if you turn on a light in the room, it doesn't illuminate, you know, especially in a big room, it doesn't illuminate the whole room. It kind of just illuminates the area that the light is shining on, and it kind of trickles outward a little bit. It doesn't make the whole room evenly light, you know? And, you know, I don't know, I just think this kind of thing looks ages better. Now, people are like, oh, you know, why does it have to be so dark? I don't think that this is much to ask for. I mean, it's not pitch black dark, like, you know, even the original game was pitch black dark at points, so I think that having it be just slightly darker would just do miles for the game. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know down in the comments down below what you think of these screenshots, how you think these turned out, all that kind of stuff. So until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.